Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to build a flight search agent using SmolAgents by Hugging Faces. So here we're going to be using this custom tools functionality by SmolAgents. So we'll be building a custom tool, and the agent would use this tool to actually fetch information from an external API, and then the agent would give us the results. So before we just jump onto the code, I just want to show some results and then walk you through the code step by step. So the query that we have given to the agent here is this one. Can you give me the details of all the flights available from JFK to SFO on this particular date? Okay, and what happens is we have written a we'll go in detail later. So we have written this tool which is a function which takes the origin and destination location with departure date. So this is going to return a JSON which has all the flight informations. So this JSON would be passed to the agent, which is the LLM, and then we have defined a code agent here. So what code agent would do is it would write code to actually convert this into a table. So we have asked to get us this details in a tabular format. So it writes code to actually format that, and then it's gonna fail, and it tries again. Couple of iterations. Finally, it gets it formatted, and we have the results here. So the final answer we gets the flight name, we get the departure, arrival time, and the including a price. So this is like one small example on how we can build this. So let's go a little bit deeper into it. Yeah, starting here, I'm just importing some of the modules which are required here, and I'm just loading my Hugging Faces tokens from this .env file. Now, you might know this HF API model is like just a wrapper around this hub inference API. It's basically a wrapper on the inference API itself. So we're just defining our model here. So the fun part is on creating this custom tools. So let me quickly show what is happening after that. So before we're going to define our tool here. So once we define this tool, we'll be initializing our agent. So we're initializing our agent as a code agent. We can also use, if you want, we can also use tool calling agent, which is just a agent which uses text or plain text or JSON as actions. Here the actions are written as Python codes. So once so we're just defining the agent here, when we're tagging our tool to this agent and the model to this agent. We are also authorizing some of the imports. So these imports are required. So whenever this code that is written by the LLM which runs in the sandbox inside, it might require some of these modules to be imported. So we are also actually authorizing these modules. Then we are just invoking this agent. So when agent gets this query, it understands that it needs to use the tool, and it fetches appropriate arguments from this particular query, and it invokes that tool, and the tool gets a response, and agent analyzes the response, and it understands it needs to format further, and then it starts formatting by writing code, and then finally gets us the result. Okay, so that's the whole idea of how it works. Now let's dig a little deeper into how we can write a custom tool like this. So so this is like function calling. I have written some we can use this at the rate tool decorator. You need to import this tool decorator from SmolAgents, and once you add this decorator, it understands this is a tool, and in the comments part you can define this function. So I've just given it's a flight information. Each argument can be defined, uh, the origin location, destination location, and the date. For the date format, I've given some example as well. And coming to here, there are actually two APIs that we are calling here. So first is, so we're basically using one service called, let me show you that. So we're using a service called Amadeus. Amadeus. So you can go to this developers.amadeus.com, and you have to sign up here. And once you sign up, you need to go to this My Self Service workspace. There you need to create a new app. In that, once you create an app there, So you'll see the API keys for that coming down to the app. So this is my app's name. Coming down to that, you'll see the API keys and API secret there. Once you have them ready, you can go to Postman. If you're using Postman, you can go to Postman and you can just search for Amadeus here. So you'll see this Amadeus developers public workspace. You can go here and then just fork their collection and environment. So once you are here, you can just click on this collections and then you can fork here, create a fork, and maybe come to this environment. You can also fork this environment as well. Okay, create a fork. So once you have them ready in your own environment, go back to your environment and then you can start using this API. So we're just using two APIs here. One is this getting token API, which is /token, and one is offers API. So this is the second API that we are using. So I've converted this into a Python code. Basically, you can directly use this code. So essentially, the first part of it, it actually calls the token API and we fetches the token. So once we have the token, we pass that token to the second API along with the origin and the destination location code as well as the departure date. Okay, so this API is going to give us a big JSON which has the all information about the uh, flight code, and all other informations. Okay, so we have that data here. So I'm directly giving that JSON data to the LLM. So if you want, you can format that data and give it to the LLM, and which will give much better result. I'm just directly giving it here. So and then LLM would get this information and then it would process it. It understands that it need to actually process it because we are asking it in the table format here, right? So it understand it needs to process it. It will process it and then it will write code to actually process it, and then finally it will get you the results. So I think that's it here. So this is like a quick uh, quick example of how you can use agents in some kind of practical applications. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Thank you.